Today, we are going to talk about financial planning and developing a financial strategy for business owners and enterprises. You know, I am an auditor, and at first we were engaged in internal audits. Every time I conducted such an audit, I encountered the same problems in structuring activities and managing finances at enterprises. Within the scope of the audit, we would either eliminate or rework these issues, going back retrospectively, or we would discover gaps only after a lot of money had already been lost and the owners had no other options left. It is no longer possible to recover those losses, but it is possible to work correctly from now on. Now, we are offering a different service that will allow you to structure your finances right from the start of your business activities. Why is this necessary at all? And what situations might arise for you in the process if you don't do this? Very often, owners simply do not see the full picture of the funds in their accounts, and they cannot freely manage them. Or it can happen that today you have, say, 20 or 30 million in your account, but in reality, the accounts payable that need to be settled within this month actually exceed your cash balance by 5 million. You have no idea what your incoming funds will be because you haven't drawn up a plan for receipts, you haven't developed a plan for advertising activities based on it, and you can't forecast anything. So it turns out the last day of the month arrives. You've paid off your debts, and yet you still owe money. Or there's another story when the owner has already pocketed about 5 million, but there's nothing left to pay the debts. And then the creditors start making demands and court cases begin. Why? Because of the lack of financial planning. That's why we offer you a service specifically for financial planning and adapting your financial system, which allows you to calculate all your income for a given period. We plan for 3 years, for a year, for a month. Next, we monitor the implementation of the income and expenditure plan. Many financiers say, we will plan the income. Hold on, you cannot plan your income. You can only reliably plan your expenses, especially in manufacturing businesses where you have workshops and warehouses. You have to pay rent every day. You have employees whom you can't just let go today. That's when you can definitely plan these expenses. And only then should you draw up an income plan and set requirements for marketing results and advertising, who you attract and what outcome is expected from that. Set sales targets for your sales managers if you know your expenses. But unfortunately, in practice, I very often see that the financial plan is built starting from the income plan, not from the expense plan. This is a very serious mistake. Well, any economist will tell you that. A financier might argue with that. Another very important aspect in financial planning, for example, which we touch upon, is employee KPIs. Very often I come across payroll structures that do not motivate employees to take action. For example, most of our employees receive a percentage-based salary from the work they complete. This allows them to grow, and there are certain conditions they must meet to receive additional bonuses, such as training. However, at most companies, the owner doesn't even think about this. So, what do we end up with? Unmotivated staff who constantly receive the same salary or whose salary increases regardless of their actions. The output from such an employee is much lower because their task is simply to turn up and sit at work for a few hours, and for that they'll still be paid the same rate, 20 or 25,000 or the minimum 8,000. But they haven't actually done anything. Even for a while, such employees manage to hold on to their jobs, but sooner or later they get fed up with it too. Emotional burnout sets in. What does a person like that think? I'm a nobody at this company. I'm nothing here. My opinion doesn't matter at all, and I have no prospects for growth. That's why this should be avoided. Financial planning is exactly what allows you to calculate each employee's KPIs, set them a benchmark for growth, and create the right motivational system. Then the productivity of each employee increases, as does their motivation and simply their mood, because they can influence their own earnings, and you always get more profit from their work. So in this case, both the owner and the employee are equally interested. We invite you to financial planning at KRC, and together we'll resolve all these issues with you.